Taiwanese shoe manufacturer donates 12,000 pairs of new shoes to help the impoverished. The volunteers help 17-year-old grandma install handrails in her bathroom, improving her home safety. 歡迎收睇DaAi Headlines， 我係 Ruby。我哋一齊嚟睇下今日嘅內容。A Taiwanese shoe manufacturer has donated 12,000 pairs of new shoes, which were sent to Dominican Republic. Local volunteers immediately sorted them into different sizes and created a distribution list, getting ready to send the shoes to the impoverished. Receiving these big gifts of shoes before Christmas, local volunteers were busy tidying up the warehouse. 300 pairs were sent to the garbage mountain community, filling the residents with happiness.
It suits me well. I like it very much. It's very beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for sending these shoes here. Me and my children are very grateful.
Thank you very much for coming here again to care for us.
During the pandemic, the Classic first often came to care. They agreed with Tzu Chi's bamboo bank era and took initiative to invite residents to respond.
In the Tzu Chi aid distribution this time, there are 3 regions receiving help. The first one is the Haiti community. The other 2 have also received help before, so they are very willing to donate.
The impoverished children in this community also received the gifts.
Thanks God, I also thank Tzu Chi for giving us healthy vegetarian food and valuable education.
Owing to the sponsorship suspension, Tzu Chi went to the community twice this year for relief distribution. At the same time, it provided 3 vegetarian meals a week to prevent 100 impoverished children from going hungry. The children wrote posters to express their gratitude. The timely care made the community residents even more warm during the pandemic. Affected by the pandemic, Tzu Chi Malacca Chapter has suspended the scholarship award ceremony. For the convenience of students living in remote areas, volunteers borrowed a venue and arranged for 28 Indian families and 37 students to collect Tzu Chi scholarships. Affected by the pandemic, the scholarship award ceremony was suspended. Tzu Chi volunteers borrowed a place to allow 37 students from Indian families to collect their scholarships.
The scholarship were received this time will be used to buy school-related things. Now they don't have shoes to wear to school. They always wear slippers because their feet are too big. Their school uniform isn't fit as well. We have to use the money to buy school uniform and shoes.
With this scholarship, we can feel at ease. Our child will be enrolled in January next year. So we need to buy school bags, textbooks, etc. This scholarship has helped a lot.
At the same time, parents do not forget to promote the spirit of Bamboo Con Bank so that children have the motivation to do good.
Whenever I got salary, I will take out a $10 coin, break it into smaller ones, and then teach my children to put into Bamboo Coin Bank. Now they are very diligent and save all the changes. We are neither poor nor rich. But when someone needs help, even though it's $1, we can help.
This parent, who just passed by, didn't want to miss the chance of paying back.
Because his child has once received our scholarship, he made a vow to ask his child to give back to Tzu Chi when he grows up.
With support and love, impoverished students can keep pursuing their dreams of studying. A team of entrepreneur volunteers in Penang, Malaysia, invited students and their parents who had previously accepted Tzu Chi's computer donation to come to Jingsi Hall for a free vision test. Let's join them there.
During the pandemic, Penang Jinsa Hall wasn't open for activities. However, with vaccine coverage improving in the country, the entrepreneur team, which sponsored students and their families with computers, invited these individuals for a free vision test.
During 2 years of the pandemic, students had to go online for their classes every day. We thought that this might affect their vision, as we wanted to protect their eyesight and help those who may need glasses.
I
think that many people have misconceptions about myopia, so I want to give them correct knowledge about this condition. This can help prevent their myopia from increasing. Also, I want to give them correct knowledge so that they can develop good habits.
After an eye test, those students who need eyeglasses were brought to visit nearby shops for a free pair of glasses, compliments of Tzu Chi.
I feel very happy in my heart to receive this support from Tzu Chi. I don't feel like I'm disadvantaged in society at all.
I have 3 children, and when they do online studies, I am worried about their eyesight. So I was happy to have the teacher arrange today's visit to check their eyesight.
These volunteers have shown their concern for students, allowing them the opportunity to complete their studies with great confidence.
Also in Malaysia, the Kedah Tzu Chi Kindergarten saw the resumption of class. Aside from doing regular COVID screening to protect their health, students and parents are getting a special education in pandemic prevention.
With the resumption of classes, students are also getting a special lesson.
We are leading children to take this rapid test, so we hope there won't be a loophole in pandemic prevention. Everyone can do these checks and raise the level of pandemic prevention.
Today she was a little worried and feared of something happened. She might end up going to the hospital. So we talked with her about it, so that she's not so worried. This is only the health test.
I am quite confident that all of the teachers and staff here can take care of the kids well.
I did the COVID rapid test today. I wasn't afraid because I'm brave.
This test is easy to conduct and the results are also readily available.
I did the nasal and throat swab before. It was a little uncomfortable. This is relatively simple as it just uses saliva and a test sticks. And then you just have to wait 10 minutes.
Because we did the rapid test, we can protect our health. We still need to wear a mask and wash our hands and eat vegetarian food.
During this pandemic prevention period, no one can afford to relax as students and teachers must work together to keep the school safe.
In order to meet the food needs of disadvantaged groups, Tzu Chi and Quezon city government have jointly set up a pantry in the community so that the unemployed, single-parent families, fire-affected households, and disabled people can collect the food they need. Rice, fresh fruits and vegetables, eggs, as well as all kinds of dry food, brewed beverages. This hypermarket display appeared in the Quirino community of Quezon City. Before Christmas, Tzu Chi Philippines chapter held food distribution for 1,000 people.
Christmas is coming soon. This time, Tzu Chi hosts a distribution in the form of a community pantry for impoverished households to choose needy items by themselves and give those they don't need to other people.
As the volunteer said, this time they used the concept of a community pantry to distribute supplies. Volunteer Willing Chen was one of the initiators.
You give them the chance to only get what they need and not what they want. So not only were you able to help people, but you were able to teach them the virtue of being not being greedy and being satisfied, and you give them the respect and the dignity.
I appreciate very much that every time the city is in need, Tzu Chi is there for us, asking for nothing in return.
Affected by the pandemic, many people in the community lost their jobs. The big fire in November even made many to become homeless. The John Flores family is one of them. Now the whole family just relies on his collection of recyclables to make ends meet.
Volunteers have given us rice before, but this time not only rice but also vegetables, dry food, brewed drinks, coffee, and milk. The food really helped us a lot.
41-year-old single mother Marisol Gimpis is also a fire survivor. She and her daughters just take shelter with canopy fabrics and cardboard near the roadside.
You give us milk, eggs, and food we need. Now, even if I don't have any income for a while, my children won't go hungry anymore.
1,000 families who collected food are the most basic and disadvantaged people in Quezon City. Volunteers' love is their best Christmas gift, keeping them company through the most difficult days. Tzu Chi's home safety project continued in Xinzhuang, New Taipei City. 17-year-old Miss Wu suffers from diabetes and had her left calf amputated more than 10 years ago. Many worry that the bathroom is unsafe for her on one leg, as demonstrated by her number of falls in the past. Thankfully, Tzu Chi was there to help her install handrails.
Due to diabetes, Miss Wu had her left calf amputated. She tells more about her karma.
We didn't pay attention to it before, and a small illness became much worse. The skin began to crack, and over the past 10 years, I have been using this chair to help myself and jump up and stand up. However, I'm quite worried.
Originally, we thought of buying some special equipment and having it installed by myself. But we don't know enough about safety, and some government officials said that Tzu Chi has a special project to look after the home safety, so we contact you to help us install this.
The bathroom is not large, and one can easily reach out and touch the walls. But for the elderly, the height of handrails is very important and the key to proper safety.
The elderly sometimes have trouble with their knees and need to depend upon this handrail to support themselves. This makes a difference, and most importantly, they won't injure themselves by falling over. We are happy to do this for their own good. I'm not worried about getting dirty. I will just go home and take a shower.
While it is still difficult to move about, these handrails make it easier and much safer for Mrs. Wu to use her own bathroom.
Da'an District Tzu Chi class took a field trip to a local park to learn more about birds and other organisms found in nature through first-hand observation. Let's join them there.
The Tzu Chi class of Da'an District is having lessons outside today at the Huajiang Wild Duck Park.
The students can experience for themselves the geography and topography of this area to connect it back to the lessons they learned from the textbook.
With the support of a professional guide and their own first-hand encounters, the students are able to gain so much more knowledge than just from the words and pictures of a textbook.
The current curriculum is getting to know your environment and the country's society, so this is a good educational method. Our text material is the most authentic kind.
Today's first station is very much like our lessons in biology, but taken outdoors, where we can observe the living creatures we previously studied in our textbook.
This place is actually a wetland, and inside Taipei City, which many of us didn't know about. Most importantly, there are guides here to give explanation, so we are not just sightseeing, enjoying the scenery.
This lesson outdoors helps broaden the students' horizon as everyone learns how to better treat our planet.
Cai Dongnin is a visually impaired student in the first grade of Tzu Chi University Communication Studies. He only has light reception in his right eye and 0.03 vision in his left eye. He studied very hard, as teachers and students also tried their best to help him. Let's see how he overcomes the difficulties in learning static photography.
Teachers and students from the Department of Communication Studies of Tzu Chi University went to Hualien beachside. Yet Cai Dongnin was not afraid of going to the beach.
你们为什么要走这么艰难的路啦？我们不能冒这个险。OK， 可以啦，就正常走，正常走。你敢跑我就敢跟。
东林很乐观的哦。
还好啦。
应该每次怕的都是我们比他怕。
Anyway, just get up when you fall. Only after trying did you know whether you can go this way.
Cai Dongnin suffers from congenital nocoplakia because he loves taking pictures to record the present. He chooses to study communication in his college.
灯塔在哪里啊？
Where's the lighthouse? Where is it? That one? The long one over there? Did I take this picture? Yes, it's by the side.
这样子要看远方。
He can only see light prescription in his right eye, and he has a vision of 0.03 after changing the artificial lens in his left eye, facing the compulsory course of static photograph. It's a challenge for both teachers and students.
我觉得不应该用我们的眼光去限制。
We should not use our opinions to restrict him. Even though he can't see it, he can still shoot it. He can do it somehow. That might be a new sense.
不一样的，那可能是一种新的感官。
追到海浪哎，一点点。
The team members cooperate with each other to complete this assignment together.
He also works very hard, so we will try to help him more. He is a very serious and diligent person.
Maybe within a few hundred photos, only one is satisfactory. But his attitude of overcoming obstacles, his optimism, and his never giving up, his dreams influence the people around him.
你为什么这么乐观啊？
妈妈有影响啊。
I have been influenced by my mother to be affirmative. Because my mother is very optimistic, she is talkative and always smiles wherever she goes.
There are frequent incidents of animal cruelty in our society. One of the most shocking events was a cat scalded by hot waters 6 times, ultimately leading to its death. Many believe that current laws are too light when it comes to animal cruelty, and there is no suspect facing a jail sentence. Animal protection advocates and lawyers have called on the government to amend the law so as to ensure the safety of these animals.
A member of the public informed the group that street cats were being sprayed with sulfuric acid, with some 21 street cats were sent to hospital one after another. The injuries were distressing. In the picture, Fat Tiger was taken care of by nearby resident Mr. Chen.
I just fed it that day, and I found it had a small wound on its body. When it was sent to the hospital, I found that the wound was super large.
当时送到兽医院的时候，有被医生诊断出来那个伤口是被硫酸泼的吗？
The doctor didn't say it was sulfuric acid, but they did say that it might have been caused by chemical agents.
A private organization spent $10,000 to ask a private detective to handle the case, report the suspect's behavior to the Taipei City Animal Protection Office. Unfortunately, more than 2 years after the incident, the suspect was still unable to be brought to justice.
那个摄影机拍起来这么的模糊，如何举证？
First of all, the camera is quite blurry, so it's not good evidence. Secondly, what did the attacker spray when the liquid was sprayed? Thirdly, how much of it was sprayed on the cat? And did this result in damage that we later saw on the cats? How do we prove the damage?
这样子的行为能不能真的造成后续我们看到这样的损害？如何举证？
Fortunately, Fat Tiger was taken home by his most trusted caregiver. Now he is living a much-loved life. However, not every battered cat can be so lucky.
We have to go.
I had a long dream, Dad. He doesn't want me anymore.
Let's go to a warm place. It's fine.
Will anyone like me there? Can I be lazy and sleep there too?
Baby, all creatures there will be like you.
Really? Thank you all.
On August 28th, the cat Cha-Cha was splashed with hot water 6 consecutive times by the owner, who had lost control. After 11 days of fighting for its life, the cat died. The incident happened in August this year. The female owner caused dissatisfaction with her boyfriend because she was visiting friends, so he began to abuse Cha-Cha. After the female owner saw the video of her boyfriend drenching the cat in hot water, she asked her friends to help. The video began to be exposed online, and rescue volunteers broke in for the rescue with the assistance of the female owner, landlord, and the police, but the cat was already dying.
You can't imagine it being like a baby. Suppose it was hit by a heavy object on the head 3 times, and then it was showered with hot water and boiling water 6 times. You can imagine what it is like.
Cha-Cha, who was blind in both eyes and burned all over the body, tried to drink water, which was filmed and broke the heart of countless netizens who pointed the finger at authorities responsible for the adoption of cats.
When they first adopted a pet, there's a questionnaire we give about basic life education. At that time, the pet owner seemed like a normal person. Also, the animal home also called to learn about the latest status, once or twice.
When someone is going to adopt a dog or cat, they may need to have some psychological consultation or some evaluation. Otherwise, ordinary people won't encounter such problems when doing adoption.
The new Taipei City Animal Protection Office promised to review how to extend the tracking and follow up after a new owner adopts a pet, but that will inevitably require a huge amount of manpower to back it up. Furthermore, current animal protection law imposes too light a penalty for cruelty to animals. It is also something that needs to be reviewed.
If you are cruel to animals today, is it possible for you to become more aggressive in the future and be aggressive toward people? So I think the government should squarely face this problem.
In the end, the judge's ruling may be based on the final state of Cha-Cha. For example, to what extent it has recovered. Assuming you aren't blind, if the skin is better now, then the criminal liability may become very light because it recovered. It could be imprisonment for less than 2 years or even a fine.
How can a penalty be implemented? The most basic is that if cause the loss of the animal's organ function, then you have to prove that he was deliberate. Then there will be imprisonment of less than 2 years. Up until now, under the current Animal Protection Act, no one has been sentenced to jail.
After Cha-Cha's death, the lawyer, Lu Chou-yan, wrote on his Facebook page, "I will work hard to make this man the first cat abuser to be sentenced to jail, and let him know that we must respect life." At the same time, he once again called on the government to amend the Animal Protection Act. How to improve education in every corner of society to value life and animals is clearly something that society needs to work harder at.
In the United States, Tzu Chi Great Love Preschool in Walnut, California, hosts a food donation event every winter. Children can choose the food they want to donate, and parents and teachers will explain to them the meaning of donation. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.